Okay.
about all this. And now I'd like to ask Tanya to share her experience as an individual, how she was teaching English to other Ukrainian refugees.
Thank you. For nearly 2 months, I worked as a volunteer at Ballet Grammar School, which is in Marlow. I volunteered as a teacher of English for Ukrainian kids, as I mentioned. The age of children was from 7 to 11. There were many interesting and wonderful moments during the course. Firstly, I'd like to highlight that the course was oriented on all ages, namely from small children till the old ladies, and each of them could study English. I think it's very important that people of different ages had that opportunity in Marlow. Also, I'd like to mention that we didn't expect such a number of Ukrainians who would like to study English at the same time. So at the beginning of the courses, there were more than 100 people, and each person had his or her own level of knowing English. But mostly there were people who didn't know the language at all. That's why the head teacher of the courses made a decision to split people into few groups according to their level of English. Doing this way, it was much easier for each of the teachers to concentrate what exactly to teach and what kind of skills to improve during the course. So I think it's really important to make a little test for people before the beginning of the course. This way it will be sorted out before even starting the first lesson. Also, I'd like to highlight that because of the shortness of the course, we made a decision to give a small present to each of Ukrainians. Those were books. Um, these books were presented according to the level of knowing English of these Ukrainian guests. The idea was that we will help our students to improve their English further even after the courses will finish. Once more, as for me, I think it's really a great idea because for right now there are a lot of people who doesn't know English. That's why they can't find a job, and they can rely only on their universal credit benefit, and that's why most of these people can't afford to buy a book which could help them to improve their communicative skills. And at the same time, let me share with you the challenges I faced during the course. Firstly, we had only 2 months to teach us, and there was only one lesson a week. I think it could be more efficient if there were 2 or 3 lessons a week, because this way students won't forget what they've learned from the previous lesson. Another challenge for me was that I supposed to teach children to talk in regular conversations, but in terms of course, it was not easy because most of the children didn't know English at all. So I had to extend their vocabulary in shortest possible time and somehow overcome the communication barrier, which was the hardest thing for these children. But even in this situation, I think it was great that I'm Ukrainian and I worked as a teacher because I could explain the complicated moments in our native language. I think it's great that communities that want to support Ukrainians involve people like me to their work. Nevertheless, I think it's good to such communities to know about one more challenge, which is not connected with the teaching or languages. It's about this situation was new for me. That's why I'm trying to tell you about this. It was connected with the DBS check. As for that moment, I didn't have the DBS check. Each lesson, the head teacher was looking for a person who will have the DBS checks. Mostly that was teachers, and they're supposed to sit near me while I was teaching children. Yeah, and I think it's not very productive, because this teacher could teach someone else instead of sitting with me. And also, I'd like to notice another interesting thing. That during this course, there were a few Ukrainians who knew English fluently, so they volunteered to help English-speaking teachers as interpreters. I think it's a great thing, because it's one of the opportunities for Ukrainians who speak English to contribute helping Ukrainians who fled the war and find themselves in difficult situations. And in the end, I would like to notice I had a great experience, and I think we need to build bridges with other communities which support Ukrainians, and even create our own community, which will consist of Ukrainians who want to contribute in this difficult situation. I think it will be a great project, so we can show the natives our culture, our kindness, our beautiful language, which some people say the second sweetest language in the world after Italian. And I hope that together we can create something good, creative, and multicultural. Thank you.
Okay, Tanya, thank you so much for your brilliant experience and what you've done. I know it not just because you are telling that, but let me share my little secret. Actually, my son was in Tanya's group and he liked her so much. Yeah, he really enjoyed your lessons, and that was really helpful, so that you could explain certain things also a little bit in Ukrainian. Thank you so much. Maybe you have questions for Tanya. We have just a few minutes to do that. Does anybody would like to put any questions? You can also do it in our chat.